If you've spent the last few evenings scrolling through endless specs sheets, watching video after video trying to figure out whether a trail camera can actually replace the trips you make to the woods, you're not alone. The market is saturated with HD, NOGLO, wireless claims that sound great until you're out there with a dead battery and no signal. I've been in that spot, and the Spartan GoCam2 Cellular Trail Camera Bundle is the one I'm going to break down for you today, so you can finally decide if it's the right fit, or just another pricey gadget you'll forget about. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have with any trail camera is the fear of buying something that looks impressive on paper, but turns out to be a paperweight when you need it most. With the GoCam2 you're buying a camera that promises to send you photos and videos over 4G per LTE the moment motion is detected, which means you won't have to trek back to a remote site every few weeks to swap out SD cards. That promise alone solves a huge pain point for people who monitor game trails, check on livestock, or keep an eye on a construction site that's out of sight. Let's talk about how it behaves in the field. The detection range of about 80 feet and a trigger speed under a second are solid for most hunting and wildlife observation scenarios. In practice, that means a deer that darts across a clearing is captured almost instantly, and you get a clear 8-megapixel still that shows the animal's shape and size. The video is 1080p HD with sound, which isn't cinema quality, but is more than enough to confirm activity, identify species, or see whether an intruder is a person or a raccoon. I've seen these cameras set up on a backyard fence where the neighbor's dog would wander at night. The motion sensor caught the dog's silhouette, and the audio captured its bark, sending a notification straight to my phone within minutes. That immediacy is the core strength of the cellular feature. Now, the cellular part is where the rubber meets the road. The GoCam2 uses multi-carrier 4G per LTE, so it can latch onto whatever network is strongest in the area. In my experience, that works great in suburban and semi-rural locations where at least one carrier has decent coverage. If you're deep in the mountains or in a region with spotty LTE, you'll start seeing missed alerts or delayed uploads. The camera itself doesn't store a massive backlog, it relies on the network to push data to the cloud. So, for people who live in places where cellular service is flaky, this could be a deal breaker. Battery life is another practical concern. The GoCam2 offers flexible power options. You can run it off standard AA batteries, a rechargeable pack, or hook up a solar panel if you're planning a long-term deployment. In real-world testing, a set of high-capacity AAs lasted about 2 weeks with moderate motion, which aligns with that extended field use claim. That's reasonable if you're okay with swapping batteries every couple of weeks, but it's not a sit-and-forget solution for a month-long research project. If you need truly autonomous operation, you'll have to invest in a solar add-on and make sure it's positioned correctly. Ease of use is surprisingly intuitive for a device that packs so much tech. The on-camera menu is minimal, just a few buttons to toggle night mode, adjust detection sensitivity, and set the photo or video interval. Most of the configuration happens in the companion app, where you can set up motion thresholds, choose how many photos per trigger, and even set up custom alerts for specific times of day. I found the app a little sluggish the first time I paired it, but once the camera was registered, the settings synced quickly and the notifications were prompt. There's a slight learning curve if you've never used a cellular trail cam before, but it's not the kind of friction that makes you want to give up. What about the image quality? An 8-megapixel sensor isn't going to produce the detail you'd expect from a DSLR, but for identification purposes it's sufficient. The photos are clear enough to see antler patterns, coat color, and even the type of vehicle in a driveway if you're using it for property monitoring. In low light, the camera switches to infrared LEDs that are invisible to most animals, so you get nighttime captures without spooking the wildlife. The video, while limited to 1080p, holds up well enough to see movement clearly, and the built-in microphone captures ambient sounds that add context. Think rustling leaves, or a gunshot echo during hunting season. Who should consider buying the GoCam2? If you're a hunter who wants real-time alerts on game movement without the hassle of traveling to retrieve footage, this camera hits the sweet spot. Wildlife researchers who need to monitor specific corridors and can afford a modest data plan will appreciate the cellular transmission. Even a homeowner concerned about trespassers or